Hello everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 17 Pro and compare it against the iPhone 13 Pro and see which particular iPhone is a better one for you. Now the 13 Pro has like a cult following again now, which I love. It's a beautiful phone, but the 17 Pro is definitely going to be the better one here in almost every single way, but how much better is it? We're going to go and take a look at it throughout this whole entire video, but if you want to pick up either one of these particular phones, links will be down in the description below. You can get them from there, and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, to be honest with you, side by side, the iPhone 13 Pro still feels like a very expensive phone. The 13 Pro on the front side is giving you a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. This is still a very good looking iPhone. I think this thing still looks and feels very, very good. You're getting thin bezels but thicker bezels on it compared to the 17 Pro, a bigger type of notch up top, but it still is like a really good looking panel. And 120Hz ProMotion on the iPhone, 13 Pro stands out so much better, which is something that's really nice on a phone like this. So I'm a really big fan of this type of device when it comes down to it from this particular perspective, and it still holds up very, very well. But clearly something like the 17 Pro is definitely going to perform a little bit better on the front side. The 17 Pro is giving you a slightly larger 6.3-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. So this type of panel is definitely a little bit bigger and a little bit nicer in that particular perspective. So some people might like this panel because it is slightly bigger. On top of that, you're getting the dynamic island at the very top. It's giving you 3000 nits of brightness, which is way brighter than this. And it's also going to be able to give you 120 Hz. So you're still maintaining 120 on both, but you are getting a brighter, kind of better looking panel with less bezel and a dynamic at the very top. So it is a little bit nicer on the 17 Pro. The rest of the body though is kind of surprising because they're both built kind of differently. You can see the 13 Pro has this like reflective type of material, this stainless steel I think, where the 17 Pro is all aluminum. The buttons and everything still feel the same. You're getting an action button on the iPhone 17 Pro. You do get a SIM card tray on the iPhone 13 Pro, which is really nice. On the bottom, Lightning port on the iPhone 13 Pro, USB Type-C on the iPhone 17 Pro. That is also going to be a slight difference there as well. On the right side, you're getting a camera button on the iPhone 17 Pro. You are not getting that on the 13 Pro. This is like an antenna band. Both have power buttons on the top left as well. For the back side, this is also a slight difference. You can see that the iPhone 17 Pro is going to be giving you this camera bar at the very top, where the 13 Pro has the cameras pushed out onto the side. The same type of cameras, but the 17 Pro's camera is definitely going to be better. We'll take a look at that as well. Then the back sides are kind of different. Frosted glass backs on this portion, but you can see the glass is not all the way protruding on the iPhone 17 Pro, where the 13 Pro is basically all throughout the back. So I definitely do think a phone like the iPhone 17 Pro holds up very well. I think it, obviously is the best iPhone right now, but I think the iPhone 13 Pro still does a really good job for a majority of things that you throw at it from that particular side. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. Now, when it comes down to the price tag, the iPhone 13 Pro used to cost $1,000. This phone now costs like probably $300 something right now. So this thing has gone down in value a ton. You can buy these phones all over the place. They do not cost that much money anymore, which is a really, really cool thing. The 17 Pro is retailing for $1,099. So this is $1,099 for this type of iPhone. It's pretty expensive, as you can imagine. It's definitely going to cost you quite a bit of money, but it might be worth it to some people. But as you can imagine, it's definitely going to be a more expensive phone. But for that extra price, you're getting that better type of display and build quality. You're also getting a phone that's going to be lasting you like an extra 4 years of software support over something like a 13 Pro. So if you're trying to get the phone that's going to last you longer in terms of software, the 17 Pro is definitely going to be lasting you there as well. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between both of these phones. The iPhone 13 Pro is giving you that Apple A15 Bionic chip inside of it with 6 GB of RAM, where the iPhone 17 Pro is giving you that Apple A19 Pro chipset inside with 12 GB of RAM, so twice the amount of RAM inside of this phone. Let's go and see which one is the faster one between both. So there we go. All the applications are cleared out in the background, so let's get into it. Now, the 13 Pro is on the left, the iPhone 17 Pro is on the right, and you can kind of tell just from opening up even just like 3 applications so far. The 17 Pro is slightly faster, nothing crazy. They both have 120Hz displays, so in real life they both look and feel pretty fast, which is something that's really, really nice. So you can kind of get an idea right here as you're going through and using these types of devices on an everyday basis, it's not really going to be that big of a difference because you're not like comparing them side by side. Like if I was still using something like a 13 Pro, I would still feel like the 13 Pro is still a very fast phone. Like I'm not gonna lie, and they're both on iOS 26, so those app opening animations still look really nice on both as well. So far, it's just like a slight difference. If there was a much bigger difference, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, it's a big difference. But because that one I messed up on. But because they both have like 120 hertz displays, they both feel very, very smooth. And like I said before, with this app opening like animation, it makes things feel that much nicer, which is something that's really cool. Now the 17 Pro I think glitched up a little bit when I got into that next display, which was kind of crazy. On these displays, you can kind of see everything still looks pretty much the same. But there's slight differences where the iPhone 17 Pro is faster, like it loads the applications much faster. But still, it doesn't feel like anything super crazy, like I'm not gonna lie. So you can kind of get an idea there how they kind of perform. We have some of these other applications between both as well. So these are going to be kind of easier to kind of open up. You can see this one, a slight difference from there, but again, nothing super crazy. This type of application too, like there's like small differences, but I don't know if I would go and upgrade just because of that. Like I feel like something like an iPhone 17 Pro obviously is the faster one, but the 13 Pro doesn't feel like it's that much slower. Like if I was just using these as separate devices, I probably wouldn't be able to tell. Like I would expect the 13 Pro to be slower, but if there's one way to kind of think about it, I would expect the iPhone 17 Pro to feel faster. Like that's kind of how I feel about it. Like the 13 Pro doesn't feel that slow, but the 17 Pro doesn't feel like exceptionally way faster if I'm using them. Now, when I start using them and playing big, massive games, that's probably when you're going to notice the bigger differences. But from everything I'm seeing right now, there's not really like a big difference. 13 Pro still is doing a really good job for how old this phone is, which is pretty crazy. Now, that also kind of goes in with the camera department as well. So if we kind of take a look at the cameras, they both have triple camera setups on the backside. Now, this is a big difference. So if you're kind of taking a look at how much they zoom in and zoom out, look at how much you can zoom in on the iPhone 13 Pro, 15x, whereas on the iPhone 17 Pro, look at this number, 40x. You are getting significantly more zooming in inside of something like an iPhone 17 Pro than an iPhone 13 Pro. You still have ultra-wide cameras on both, but you can kind of see a little bit, it's hard to tell over the camera, but even in just this slight difference, the iPhone 17 Pro's camera looks way better. It is sharper, it's darker, it makes the camera look that much better on the 17 Pro. You're also getting that center stage capability on the front side of the iPhone 17 Pro. So that right there is another really cool feature that the 17 Pro has that the iPhone 13 Pro doesn't necessarily have. So I feel like between both of these types of sensors, they both look great. This 13 Pro is surprisingly still good for how old this phone is, but I think the 17 Pro clearly is going to be the better one, as it should be because it is the more expensive phone. So this kind of brings us to the end of this comparison. The 13 Pro, I think, still holds up very well in a lot of different ways. I'm still very shocked by how good of a phone this is. If you own something like an iPhone 13 Pro, you're probably still going to be having a phone that's still going to perform very well. The display looks really nice, the cameras aren't too bad, you're still getting a SIM card tray in a phone, you're getting obviously that really good build quality, like this thing still feels like $1,000 phone, and the performance really isn't that bad either, like it still is very, very good for how old this phone is. It's a 4-year-old phone. The 17 Pro for $1,099 or $1,100, I don't know if this phone's necessarily worth $1,100. There's nothing that I saw from this phone that makes me think this isn't a like $1,100 phone, where the iPhone 17 feels more like an $800 phone. This one doesn't feel like $1,100, especially for how similar there were, the similarities between a 13 Pro and a 17 Pro. This is a tremendous phone, though. It's the best iPhone you can buy, but this feels like it's like a $900 phone, maybe. The differences between these, I mean, the older iPhones to this one, I'm going to be honest, it just doesn't, I like the body difference and stuff, and it feels more durable, but like, I don't know, like, I feel like if I have a 13 Pro, I think I would probably go and just upgrade to something like a 16 Pro, something like this that's a little cheaper, rather than spending $1,100 on this one. So that's kind of how I feel about it, if I'm being honest. If you have any other thoughts or questions, though, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, till then.